71 SAGE 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. We're talking about this day of the second impeachment trial farce of President Trump. The lead manager, Jamie Raskin, back in 2017, the first week of January, guess what he did? He objected to the certification of the Florida electoral votes for President Donald J. Trump because he felt that there were voting irregularities. Can you say hypocrisy? Now, my next guest is involved in the effort to recall the governor of California, an effort that at one time seemed pretty fanciful, but no longer. You know it's getting serious when the governor's staff begins to call the effort a coup and suggest that it is being led in part by white nationalists. My guest is a vet of distribution, sales, and marketing, has served in senior exec roles at places like Corporate Express and Staples. He's now applying his expertise to state politics to create a team of volunteers and to create some sort of hopeful movement for conservatism in this state of California where there isn't a single Republican elected statewide. The website is called recallgavin2020.com, recallgavin2020.com. Please welcome coalition founding member of Recall Gavin 2020, Mike Netter. Mike, how are you?
Larry, I'm doing great today, except Gavin Newsom's still my governor, which I hope to change pretty soon.
You know, Mike, I've heard different things about how the recall effort is going. I heard you're just a smidge short of the signatures. I've heard you got the signatures. What's the truth?
Let me explain. We need 12% of the people that voted for governor last time, which is technically 1,475,000 signatures. We're actually at that figure, but before the public gets too cocky, because they have to be verified signatures, the reality is we need 1.8 to 2 million of them. The good news is we have 5 weeks to go. And you want to hear some more amazing news, Larry?
Sure.
This is not only the largest initiative in American history, this is 90% powered by volunteers, not by the big political machine. So over 1.3 million of our signatures have come actually from people themselves taking the time and initiative, and I'm a volunteer myself, to change California and change national politics the way it's running. And I say that very sincerely.
Mike, what is the number one reason you think people in the state want him recalled? Is it his handling of the COVID-19 crisis? Is it the way he's been ordering, things like oil and gas leases and pushing a left-wing agenda? That can't be it, because this is a left-wing state. So people must be ticked off about his handling of the COVID-19. And Mike, if that's the case, then what happens when the vaccines kick in, and what happens when Governor Newsom begins to back down, as he's already begun to back down?
Well, first off, Larry, as a longtime Californian, let me change your perception a little bit, all right? Mm-hmm. California has 5 million Republicans and 9 million Democrats, but our biggest problem we have out here is there's 6.5 million NPPs, people that just aren't paying attention. Mm-hmm. They actually tend to be conservative, and the one thing that's uniting the state, believe it or not, on the right and the left, is actually Gavin himself. The number one reason, if you were to boil into 2 buckets, is everything you said, but the reality is he's a bad leader making poor decisions, mm-hmm. and COVID just amplified. We started this before COVID really hit the scene, if you will. This has just amplified the cycle, and things like dining at the French Laundry. You think that's not a bad decision? The EDD, we handed out $30 billion of money we shouldn't have. You think that's bad management? Schools not reopening. The list and reasons to recall Gavin, we have about 64 on our website, and we still couldn't fill it up, but recallgavin2020.com is long and endless. The reality is California has a bad governor making bad decisions, sending us in a bad direction for those of us that live out here. Mm-hmm. Our state's on fire, our power goes out, our taxes are too high. It's not a great place to live, Larry, a lot of the time.
I'm talking to Mike Netter, coalition founding member of the Recall Gavin 2020 effort. Again, the website is recallgavin2020.com. Mike, of the 64 reasons that you list to recall Governor Gavin Newsom. Take out the COVID ones. I'm willing to submit to you that virtually all of them could have been said about his predecessor, Governor Jerry Brown. And Jerry Brown won 2 terms. That's why I'm worried that once this issue goes away of COVID, the underlying left-wing nature of Gavin Newsom is no problem for most Californians.
Well, I think the reality is that it's okay. First off, Gavin Newsom just letting people out of jail and nullifying the will of the people. This started with a lot of people on the right and left, whether you were for or against the death penalty. Californians voted it in. And the first thing Gavin did when he got in office, Larry, was say, I'm going to nullify the will of the people. His executive orders he started issuing long before COVID have bubbled to the surface. And here's something that's really funny. You're correct. We have an 80% majority, or we, but the liberals have an 80% majority in the Senate and the Assembly. He's ignored them. All right, he's making executive decisions, executive orders, without even consulting them. So now, actually, the right and the left are actually saying, wait a minute, we have a bad governor. Now, more importantly, I think, to the rest of the country, to understand another reason this got started. In case you haven't noticed, you've got Kamala Harris in the White House, Xavier Becerra, now in head of Health and Human Services, or soon to be. The rest of the nation, I think, is also waking up and starting to pour resources. Don't write California off. We're not as liberal as everybody thinks who makes us out to be. The reality is California isn't paying attention, and a small group of people out of San Francisco for the last 50 years have gained control of the state and are now spilling it over to the rest of the country. California is waking up that, and I think the rest of the country is too. We're actually getting in donations because we're a grassroots organization. So we need every dollar we can get at recallgavin2020.com because people see that California is 12% of the population, the 55 elect.
We lose Mike?
And the rep pay attention.
Mike, we have 1 minute left. I'm talking to Mike Netter, coalition founding member of Recall Gavin 2020. Again, the website, recallgavin2020.com. As you know, we recalled Governor Gray Davis some years ago, Mike. And one of the reasons I think it was successful is that a lot of people not only voted to recall him, but they also felt that the guy waiting in the wings would be somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is there anybody like that waiting in the wings that would also give this some energy, some juice?
There are, and I'm also going to tell you that officially we support no one for governor. Our first job is to get Gavin Newsom out of office. And just like Gray Davis, we've got a governor that literally people are saying anybody else. We really now see it's time to make a change. And I'd like to end my segment with this, saying everybody out there, please participate. If you're in California, print, sign, mail. The petition is available in 8.5 by 11. Donate if you can from around the country and participate. Get us signatures. This is getting done, Larry, by the people of California with the help of the rest of the country.
RecallGavin2020.com, RecallGavin2020.com. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.